So I recently made a video about Kwame Brown. When he first came back and started getting a lot of like notoriety and attention for lighting people up, I took it as a joke. I thought when he came back, it was, him just attacking people. He wanted to, he wanted to get them back for what they did to him. And it seemed like it was a revenge mission. But to be honest, I just don't see it that way anymore. Looking at Kwame Brown's situation, it made me, as someone who creates content, sort of reflect on, maybe being a little more tactful in my approach with content. Now, am I still going to crack my jokes occasionally? Yes. Am I still going to talk trash sometimes? Yes. But one thing that he highlighted is that we must avoid creating narratives about people. Call what you see, call a spade, and move on. Don't contribute to creating a narrative about people. Kwame Brown was called like a bust for years. And he makes some really strong points to saying like, yo, you don't understand the circumstances I was put in. You don't understand how I was treated as a young rookie. You don't understand what that did to my confidence. And anybody that knows the sport of basketball knows that confidence is really, really huge when it comes to playing. So he made some really, really strong points, but some things that he highlighted that made me want to look at it was just the narrative that was created around him. And he called everybody out that sort of created that narrative. Like, yo, he was a bust. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. And, he's always been made the butt of jokes. And it's like, when you look back and reflect on it, it's like, why is this man such the butt of jokes when this dude is successful? This dude made it to the NBA. He made enough money. I think they said this dude made in total like 63 million. Now, when you hear that, you hear like players like James Harden, like, oh, he just got 50 million. Oh, he just got a supermax over here. He just got like 100 something million, or however much the supermax is. I don't know. I don't care. But my thing is, we look at other athletes who make that money. But when you think about it, it's like, yo, 60 million over the course of a 13-year career. That's not bad. I wish over the next, I wish the last 10, 13 years that I've been working in my life that I made 60 something million. How is that a bust? How's it a failure? You have people that's punching a clock every day, and there's no problem punching a clock. I work a 9 to 5 like the rest of the average person is probably watching this video. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but it's like, imagine you make millions of dollars doing what you love, and because somebody doesn't believe that you do it to the level that you should do it, they call you a bust, a failure. When you've been successful, you've done what only maybe 1% of people who set out to do that do. He did it at the highest level for 13 years, and it's just unreal watching people create the narrative of calling him a failure. It made me look at it a lot different too, because like, me growing up, Stephen A was on television as a kid, Skip Bayless. I mean, don't get me wrong, like as an adult, I think a lot of their takes are like really clownish takes. But like growing up, you constantly hear Kwame Brown's a bust, Kwame Brown's a failure, or this player's a bust, this person's a failure. And it makes you reflect like, damn, like we're so pessimistic as people that it's easy for us to look at somebody that's making millions, doing something they enjoy, and we can still in our mind find a way to create the narrative that they're a failure. It doesn't make sense. I just don't agree. I'm glad that Kwame Brown brought some light to that. It created a reflection. And I think a lot of brothers and sisters, we need to look at that and go, okay, man, are we reporting the news? Are we giving a fair and objective opinion from what we feel, or are we recreating a narrative that other people are creating? When I covered the Joe Budden situation, yes, him being a narcissist is a common belief, but that was something I truly believed. And even when I spoke on the situation, I think I ran it in 1 or 2 of the videos, but I tried to give a perspective of like, yo, I just think what he did was wrong. I didn't come out here and say, Joe was a terrible person. When that thing happened with Olivia Dope, I didn't jump on and go, what, we need to cancel him and stuff like that. I didn't want to do that. It's just, I try to be objective, but Kwame Brown brought it to the forefront where I want to look at it a little better when it comes to approaching my content. Secondly, I want to talk about the situation with Charlamagne. So Charlamagne put some information out about Kwame Brown's family, tried to paint him as violent. And Kwame Brown already spoke on that, like, yo, I'm tired of people painting me as violent, saying I'm choosing violence and blah, 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 which is just a saying. It's just a saying, but who am I to tell that man how he should feel? He may take that as a way of them trying to paint him as violent, because it did grow to that. When people first started joking, Jamel Hill joking, said he chose violence, he said, cut that narrative out. And then slowly you start seeing other media outlets start saying that he was violent. There was some merit to his claims. With Charlamagne the God, I'm just gonna call him Charlamagne. I don't know why I said Charlamagne again. Guy, probably because I've read his names. I'm trying to do research before I did this video. I just called him Charlamagne. With Charlamagne went on the radio and he put his 2 cents in. It had nothing to do with him. I understand he does Donkey of the Day, but he wasn't issuing Donkey of the Day to Kwame Brown. So I just don't understand why he spoke on it. But he spoke on it and essentially was like, hey man, this dude, his whole family is violent and he's prone to be violent, which was like an extreme take. And Kwame Brown was really frustrated with that take. Well, I'm not gonna say frustrated. I don't want to say how that man feels, but Kwame Brown didn't take well to what he said and was like, hold on, how dare you? I have children. You don't know if my children knew something like that. There was no reason. And yes, it's public record, but nobody was looking for it. You know, so the excuse of it being public record is just trash. So Kwame Brown lit Charlamagne up. He brought up Charlamagne's past allegations of him, you know, doing what he did to that young lady, allegedly. And the whole situation, he's like, you know, how dare you? You got away with this and you're going to do this to me? You're going to do this to me when you walking around and that lady, you know, allegedly, if you did do that to that lady is dealing with that trauma every day because you're everywhere. You're in podcasting, you're on the radio, you're one of the biggest voices in Black entertainment. You're an award-winning author or whatever. You published a book. You've done so much, and let's say if you did do this to this lady, that's traumatizing. She's dealing with that trauma every day. So how dare you cause that trauma on my family? And my kids didn't even know that about my brother or my father. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, I don't even talk to those people that you even associated violence with me. I don't even talk to those people. So he lit Charlamagne up. Charlamagne then came back and was like, hey, no. First Charlamagne sent the cease and desist. And then Kwame was like, yo, that's not gonna shut me up. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna speak the facts. I won't give my opinion. And if I do say something that may be interpreted as opinion, I'll say allegedly, but I'm going to refer always to the source, docs things that are public record, like how you did me, which in my opinion is fair. So after Charlamagne sent the cease and desist and that didn't work, people started picking the story back up. Funk Flex did his rant about it. Star did, republished his video about it on a separate channel because I think Charlamagne got that taken down. It started resurfacing and Charlamagne pretty much like, yo, I can't win this. This is when it comes to, assault, we can't do this. Like I cannot win this fight. So let me put the fire out now and put out an apology. And he thought the apology was gonna get Kwame off of him. And Kwame's like, no, we're not doing that. Don't skip you and your apology. I don't want your apology. And to be honest, I feel like Charlamagne's apology was fake. If you're gonna apologize, you apologize first. You don't leave with a cease and desist and go shut up and try to silence somebody. And then when the silencing don't work, you go, hey, I'm sorry, man. I'm waving the white flag. Like, let's stop. You tried to win the war like that because you used your influence to bully people. And how this all ties together, I want to cover all of this because I didn't want to do a bunch of videos on this topic. How this all ties together is Charlamagne tried to use his influence to shut up Kwame and it didn't work. And Kwame is now bringing awareness that this is how the media moves. And the media has tried to silence him. The media has created narratives about people. And the media has ruined lives. And as me personally, this is just a reflection video in my opinion. Me personally, I want to be better with that moving forward. And Kwame Brown, I don't think you'll ever see this video. You may, who knows? I've seen you comment comment on other channels that's similar size to me. I've seen you comment on somebody's video that has 5,000 subs and I'm at 5.86K. I don't know if you'll ever see this video, but if you do see this video, I would like to say thank you. I appreciate the message that you're putting forth. And a lot of people may not like the approach, but what you're doing has merit and it's causing a conversation. Sort of like with Kevin Samuels. You may not like Kevin Samuels' approach. You may not like his methods, which I don't agree with a lot of stuff that Kevin Samuels say either, but he has encouraged a conversation that takes place to say, hey man, you need to have realistic dating ideals. You need to have realistic expectations. Why are you asking this of other people when this is what you bring to the table? Are you desirable by the people that you want? And are you truly above the people that you think you're better than? So you may not agree, but it's okay. It starts a conversation. And I think what Kwame Brown has done here is great. It creates a conversation. It's going to make media think twice before trying to silence somebody and create a narrative about them. Because I'm telling you, when an idea happens, another one sprouts up. Every time you have one person, excuse me, we had Kevin Samuels. Now we have a bunch of Kevin Samuels. We had a Charlamagne, and then that led the way for somebody like DJ Academics to sprout up and stuff like that. I feel like DJ Academics is like a breed between Charlamagne and Joe Budden. But overall, what you did, I think, in my opinion, is a great thing. A little rough around the edges when you started calling people out their names and stuff like that, but they disrespected you first. I get it. They said they disrespected your mama's son, and you wanted to give them some of your mama's cooking. I get it. But overall, if you look up past the cursing and the snapping and the insults and stuff like that, that's the entertainment value. But what Kwame Brown has done is created a conversation for media to be a little bit more responsible when it comes to how we and even larger platforms speak about people in general. He's moving the culture, right? We force people with cancel culture. We force people to be better people. With the whole Me Too movement, we've gotten the predators and stuff like that. Kwame Brown is stepping up, and he's creating the movement to get media right. I never understood how sports analysts could stand up there and disrespect athletes that essentially put food on the table for their family, because that's what they talk about every day. So leave how you feel in the comment section about this Kwame Brown thing. I know everybody's clicking the Kwame Brown videos for laughs and jokes and stuff like that, and I thought it was funny too initially, but I think there's a deeper conversation to be had about this. But I'm not going to keep ranting. I'm not going to keep talking about it. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for your time. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'm out, Chief.